Thanks so much, Kaylee. That's right. Welcoming on Dave Harrison, and he is Executive Director for Workforce Development over at FastPort. Dave, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well, Dave, and I hope you are doing well as well. We're talking about an amazing initiative, as Kaylee mentioned, and that is Wreaths Across America, something that I think is so important to our industry. We're talking about the amazing freedoms that we have in our country and really what it means to this industry. Can you tell us a little bit of a rundown of Wreaths Across America and what it means overall?
Well, Wreaths Across America started as an initiative of just a single family that are tree farmers that made remembrance wreaths and Christmas wreaths. And when some years ago, 29 years ago, I think it was now, they had wreaths left over and decided they wanted to lay wreaths at Arlington National Cemetery to honor veterans who had fallen. And so they partnered with local trucking companies, took several loads down, but they didn't have enough wreaths to cover the Arlington National Cemetery. And basically, someone asked what they were doing, and they explained it. And they decided their mission was to cover every single grave at Arlington. Since then, it's grown to cover most of the national cemeteries in the world. And the integration with the trucking industry, I was with J.B. Hunt when I first got involved with. I was privileged enough to, at the time, to put the wreath on the first J.B. Hunt truck that ever pulled a load out of Maine. The maxim for Wreaths Across America is remember, honor, and teach. And it is designed that no one's ever forgotten when you mention their name and their follow. And it also is to honor their service and their life. And it's to teach the next generation because quite frankly, I think that we're missing some of that. So it's a wonderful organization. It comprises of volunteers from left to right, top to bottom. We've been involved in several ways. And we're co-sponsors of their gala this year, which is coming up next Friday. The following Saturday, all across America, there will be wreaths laid at national cemeteries. If you don't know about it, check with your closest national cemetery and go volunteer, be part of it. I'm telling you, you've never been involved with something that's so changing, or if you have, it's very, very rare that you get to touch that.
So, of course, we know that here in the trucking industry, we have so much support for our veterans. A lot of our drivers are veterans who have served. There's a lot of veteran family history that works in the industry. So it's always so amazing to see the kind of support that comes together from the trucking industry to honor our fallen veterans who, of course, gave the ultimate sacrifice. Can you talk a little bit about some of the other folks who are involved in this partnership? And are there any of those major carriers who donate some of their time or their energy to help pull those loads? Or is there any kind of more room for expanding partnership?
Well, there's always room, and in the changing economy, you have some companies that have retracted some of their efforts historically, and that's happened before. It will be fine, but if you're going to mention companies, Walmart from a private fleet's been knee deep in that. And has facilitated the Wreaths Across America for decades now. J.B. Hunt was recognized by Wreaths Across America because they use their intermodal capacity to cover, the cemeteries on the West Coast, because it's hard to all do it in one day to have all the wreaths in position, if you think of it from a logistical perspective. So that's helped greatly. But if you name a carrier, and there's long-term carriers that have been involved that go on a procession to Arlington. However, there are processions or carriers that go to every single cemetery that possible, and many companies will sponsor a cemetery in itself. I could probably go on and mention about 200, and all of them touch it or are involved with it, and several that people aren't even aware of. A lot of private fleets bring trucks out and donate time and services. So I got to tell you that I think the Trucking Alliance, ATA, and TCA itself has strong representation across the board on wreaths. They have initiatives involved with that. And Again, all you have to do is go to the website, or you can check with any one of those organizations, and they connect you. If you are interested in helping out, you can reach out to me at Dave.Harrison at FastPort.com. I can connect you directly with the Wreaths Across America folks. This is a true, honorable labor of love.
Definitely a lot of amazing things going into this. And Dave, when we're looking at the website, of course, there's tons of information for all the resources here. Can you tell us about one of the initiatives called the Remember Wall and what that's all about?
Well, it's like, I don't want to oversimplify it, but anybody that's ever visited any Remembrance Wall, whether it be a Vietnam Memorial or anything else, it gives you a representation of fallen physically right in front of you. And I could talk for 30 minutes on the cathartic nature of that, because I visited the Middle Eastern Conflicts Wall, the Vietnam Memorial Wall, and several others. And the Remember Wall is essentially designed to do the same thing, but from a much more holistic kind of approach with wreaths.
It's amazing to see this initiative. You mentioned the gala, and that's kind of the culmination in Arlington at the end of this week, and those other local events that happen as well. We here in Chattanooga, of course, have our Chattanooga National Cemetery, and we have one of the biggest Wreaths Across America celebrations outside of the Arlington Memorial Cemetery one. Any other advice for folks who are looking to get involved, maybe with their local chapter, if that's kind of like local ability?
Yeah, it's not at the end of this week. It's the 15th is the gala. The 16th is Wreaths Day. So but the gala is the culmination is actually in the wreaths more so, because the convoy that comes in, et cetera. But the Wreaths Gala really focuses on the people who have volunteered time, resources, et cetera. And then it is a wonderful kickoff and celebration of those who have passed and those who are trying to remember and honor those. Chattanooga has a wonderful, I actually was there several years ago. I haven't been there recently, but it was fantastic. It was one of the best ones I've seen outside of the Arlington area. I would say that you go to the website, go to a local chapter, ask what you can do. One other thing, usually there's a significant number of volunteers to lay wreaths. There's not always a significant number of volunteers to pick the wreaths up, because the wreaths have to be picked up, and if you're going to lay millions of wreaths out, they got to be picked up. That requires labor too. So if you keep that in mind, that's very helpful.
Dave, thanks so much for joining us this morning and shedding some light and insights on this initiative. And that's wreathsacrossamerica.org. If people want more information, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate you featuring this wonderful.
Absolutely, and Merry Christmas. Go volunteer with your local Wreaths Across America group. Right now, we're going to go ahead and take a very quick break. We'll be right back right after this.